Welcome back, fellow YouTubers, fellow subscribers, fellow viewers, fellow campers, fellow bushcrafters, fellow survivalists, fellow primitives, fire makers. It's DMBLAIR, my DM life. It's gonna be a short video on my primitive fire making kit. Now I did a video on my fire roll earlier, about 10-15 videos ago. I didn't feature or show flint and steel in that because that gets kept in a different type of fire making kit, and when I go out to primitive survival stuff like that, things where I'm just going for a day and I'm just going to do things, you know, hands-on, I take this kit. Now I made this bag. It's not the best looking bag, but I was going to buy a really cool leather fire making bag, like primitive fire making bag, but I wanted this to be able to fit in a haversack, so I didn't want it round and bushy, and I didn't want to have to carry it on my belt because I carry a whole lot of other stuff on my belt when I go out. So I kind of made this to be flat and slender, so it would fit in a haversack, so it can be one of the things I put in my haversack. Now, because it's primitive, although I do carry flint and steel, or I mean not flint and steel, a ferro rod, that's in a different thing in the same bag, but that's, to me, that's my last resort. I should be able to flint and steel or something to make my fire without having to resort to that in my thoughts. That's a last resort to me. Or having to use some sort of an accelerant, that's a last resort to me, okay? So here's what it looks like. I made a couple of other things with this same material over a long period of time. So this was just one of the first bags I ever made. Like I said, I made it to be long and skinny. So what I did was I just decided that this was going to be the perfect size. Made the top flap here, so it's just held together with a toothpick, but that's because you never have anything to pick your teeth with, and you know, when you're out and about, you never have anything to pick your teeth with. So to me, functional, you know, just me. Anyway, so I'm gonna put that in my mouth, yeah. And what I did was I just glued this on here, this makeshift latch. I had planned to come back later and maybe sew something else over it or something, but never really got to it. So basically it's just a through and through like this. Okay. Yeah, and then it opens up, and then down inside the bag shot, basically. So inside here is I have a tin. So this is just a piece of canvas, just a crude sleeve that I keep this in. That is my newest one. I'm going to start using charcloth, making charcloth with it. But inside, I don't know, somewhat primitively, I feel that people would have stored things in little bits of skin or so forth. I'm trying to collect some little bits and pieces of canvas and things together to be able to swap out, and a lot of things that I have that I've been using paper to hold, because in like the 1700s and into the 1800s, a lot of people carried things around in just little wads of paper. So I'm trying to get back further than that and use like leather and deer skin and stuff like that to hold stuff. I just haven't gotten pieces left over from projects that I feel are the right size or ample. I ended up putting those in into my repair kit, those extra little pieces. So forgive me for the bits of paper all over. But basically inside here now is, this is some birch bark. I don't collect it often, so I kind of hold sacred what little bit I have. White birch trees and things are easy to come by, but when it comes to like the red birch and stuff, I'll burn up the white birch and stuff long before I do my what I consider my red birch, my little bit here and there. When I found my first red birch tree, I was like, ah! And I took some, but there wasn't a lot to take because it wasn't flaking, and So I was in all of the trees, so I didn't want to take a lot from it. So the little bit I have, I hold sacred. So in this first pouch here is my bits of char cloth. The paper helps to keep the moisture off of it, basically. My char cloth is not like most people's. I make mine out of like denim and canvas, like this. There's just a piece that isn't charred. It's just in there as an extra piece. But that's another thing, like I made this out of canvas so that with this extra flap, so if I ever needed to make char cloth on the fly, I got some material to do that. Like I said, my char cloth is kind of different from everybody else's. Everybody uses cotton, stuff like that. I had a friend who used to use blue jean. You know, everybody's different. And then, as I was saying about accelerants, I've collected up some pine resin. Now I have a big, huge container of pine resin, and it's got like chunks of tree, and it's sticky, and I mean, I'll show you guys sometime. It's a big plastic container I carry in my survival bag. But I use resins to make, obviously, to make not sinew, hafting material. You know what I mean? Like to attach arrowheads to arrows. I can't think of what it's called. Anyway, pine pitch with charcoal, which I'm going to show you guys how to do that later. But I saved all that older stuff with the wooden stuff in it, and that's for that video, so I can show you how to strain off the particles and stuff. Whereas for this kit, I just picked out the best pieces. I don't know if you can see them here. I'll bring you down here better. But I just picked the best looking ambery chunky pieces to put into my fire making kit because they have a different purpose. So, and I keep them wrapped up in paper to keep the moisture off. So then that's what's basically in my little tin here. Let me put this stuff back in here the way it was so we can close this up. And then, like I was saying, I can use this tin then along with the extra material on here to make more char cloth if needs be. So that's that. We'll set that aside. And then I have a piece of chaga. I have a bunch of chaga. In fact, I have big chunks of it that I've collected. I had some that I made into, like, drilled holes in it and horseshoe and kind of just hung it up somewhere so I wouldn't lose it. So I have this piece in there. I don't carry a lot of it. But I have a piece in case, like, I run out of char cloth. I have some jute twine. I have different types of jute twine in here, actually. I have this kind here to maybe tear up and use for like tinder. And then I have more like a piece like this that I can tear apart. It's just a little sliver of a piece of rope that I have around. And then I also have my piece of flint. This is one of my most favorite pieces of flint that I have. So I put it in here just so I would have it with me. I like the way it's like a rock. When I sprawled it, it just came out really nicely. And I have big chunks. In fact, I have a friend that I'm going to maybe start trading for flint to as well. And then I also have the steel, a piece of steel that was gifted to me for Christmas from a family member. And then last but not least, I have more of this in case I need it for anything. I don't know, maybe to grab a pan or wipe something or even make more char cloth. And then I have a few pieces of fat wood in case I need those for an accelerant as well. I love the smell of fat wood, guys. But basically this is my primitive survival kit. There's no matches, there's no accelerants other than natural, being the fat wood or the pine pitch or pine resin. I hope that I hope this helps you guys to maybe be inspired to make your own little primitive fire kit. As you can see here, I'll show you here. It doesn't take much to have a fire kit. Right there. I mean, there's not much to it at all, but guaranteed if I was in a situation where I was out and about or out for a day hike or whatever, I could make fire with this. And I have some bow drills and stuff like that. I'm going to start going into some other things here real soon until I can start to get out and about. Like I said before when I started the channel, most of my videos are going to be homebound and just the things I've already started to make before I decided to have a channel that I was using over time. And I can show you how to make bags if you want, and I can show you how to put these kinds of things together. But at this point, I'm just showing you the kits and things as ideas so we can grow off those and those base ideas of things that I've already started to create or have. So until next time, guys, like I said, I hope this inspires you. I hope it helps you to know exactly what goes into a primitive fire making kit if you've thought about it, but I'm just not sure what to put in it. I could probably put maybe some cattails or some cotton. I mean, I'm sure they would have picked cotton off of cotton plants and things. So I never thought to put none of that in here, but maybe that's a time for, you know, expansion. I mean, you can put things in here as you go over time too, like the piece of chaga. When I'm out and about, if I find other little bits of tree fungus or whatever, or tree knots, a knot of wood, I'll throw it in here. I mean, there's a lot of things that have gone in this bag and come out of this bag over the longevity of its life. So, until next time, guys, please, I hope you had a safe and happy holiday. I know this is a day late, but until next time, guys, just check out my Patreon. Be safe, be well, be kind. You know, subscribe. Check out my website. I don't know why I said be safe, be well, be kind already. I should have said that at the end. I'm just kind of like thinking about if there's anything else that I could say that would be helpful. Because I was thinking about cattails and I just kind of got off track, guys. Okay, so I'm going to end it here. I'll talk to you later. Bye.